Good day, everyone. Today I will be talking to you about Microsoft Teams. So, before I start, I would like to introduce myself. I am John Laurene Manrique. I am a second year BS Computer Science student at Asia Pacific College. I am also an Alpha Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador, and I am the Events Committee Head at APC-Microsoft Community. If you have any questions by the end of this session, feel free to contact me at my email, jlmanrique@student.apc.edu.ph. So let's start. So first of all, what is Microsoft Teams? I have here a short video introducing what Microsoft Teams is all about.
We've seen the impact teamwork has had on our world. But what if teams could achieve even more?
To truly do great work, we need people that have different experiences and understand the world from a different perspective.
The thing that's challenging is to make sure that there's a platform for that collaboration. Teams are very liquid. We need to keep up with the way our people like to work.
What if people from different cultures and generations could come together in a more purposeful way, so ideas flow freely and evolve organically? Just imagine what we could achieve. Introducing Microsoft Teams in Office 365.
Microsoft Teams is helping us accelerate and win on Sundays. Now we can share common ideas, common goals.
I'm excited about the ability for people to be engaged in multiple teams and making it very easy for them to not have to go to 15 different places.
Microsoft Teams is a chat-based workspace that gives people one place to connect and create in inherently human ways.
You have that constant thread of communication that you can go back in history and see. It's all right there in a single interface.
Accenture is nearly 400,000 people across 120 countries. To be able to engage and collaborate this way is a big game changer for us.
A way that builds trust and helps create a natural rhythm so ideas flow freely and evolve organically.
There's a lot of communication, there's a lot of data sharing. We're all sort of working towards the same end goal, and that's to build a car that goes out on the racetrack to win.
It's all happening real time in a very frictionless way. That's the way people expect to work these days.
Because it's part of the Office 365 set of collaboration tools, it's part of what we already do. It's the central hub where the conversations happen. It opens possibilities for connection and collaboration that we never thought was possible before.
And it's about empowering them and taking somebody's good idea and making it an awesome idea.
It has truly made us more efficient.
This is exactly what we've been waiting for. This is how we think the world of tomorrow will work.
Welcome to Microsoft Teams. Together, there's no limit to what we can achieve.
So I hope you guys liked the video. Now let's talk about what Microsoft Teams is all about and what it has to offer. So Skype Teams is a chat-based workspace within Microsoft Office 365 that acts or serves as a central hub for workplace conversations, collaborative teamwork, video chats, and document sharing among organizations such as Asia Pacific College. Now, Microsoft Teams has three characteristics. It is that Microsoft Teams is collaborative, secured, and integrated. With Microsoft Teams, members of an organization can collaborate with each other through messages, calls, video meetings, and file sharing. Now, file sharing is where you can share and edit files in a one-on-one chat, a group chat, or even through a team channel. The next characteristic of Microsoft Teams is that it is secured. Now, Microsoft Teams enforces a team-wide or organization-wide two-factor authentication and encrypts data that is either in transit or at rest. Now, Microsoft uses industry-standard technologies such as TLS and SRTP to encrypt all data that is in transit between a user's device and Microsoft's data center. The data that is usually encrypted includes messages, files, meetings, and other content that members have shared throughout their organization. Now, the last characteristic of Microsoft Teams is that it is integrated with other Office 365 applications such as Word, Excel, OneNote, PowerPoint, and Planner. Now, this makes it easier to create files in Microsoft Teams that can be shared throughout members of your organization or other members of your team's channel. Now, there are two ways of accessing Microsoft Teams. You could either check out Microsoft Teams online in browser, or you could use the desktop version. Now, when you're using browser, you just have to type in email.apc.edu.ph and log in with your given APC email. And once you've logged in, there's usually a list of apps that is showcased at the center of the web page. But if it is not available, you could check out the drop-down button located at the upper left of the web page, and there you'll be able to see the different apps such as Outlook, Word, and Microsoft Teams. So I'll be giving you a short demonstration on how to find Microsoft Teams in browser. So to access your Microsoft Teams web app version, you just have to type in email.apc.edu.ph. So you could use any Microsoft email, but for this session, I'll be using my APC email. So let me just type my password. I use two-factor authentication for a more secured account. So let me just type in the needed codes for this. Okay, so now I've signed in. So once you've signed in, you'll be able to see the different files you've accessed recently, and at the left corner or at the left side, you'll be able to see the different apps that you could use while in Office 365. There's also a drop-down button here with the list of different apps and list of different documents. So to get to Microsoft Teams web app version, you just have to look for the Microsoft Teams logo. And you'll be redirected to a new tab. So I have to type in again the codes. So once you're done signing in again, you are usually redirected to this reminder right here. So it just asks you if you want to continue using the web app version or do you want to use the Windows or desktop app. But for this demo, we'll be using the web app version instead. So this is what the Microsoft Teams web app version looks like. So I won't go into further details regarding the functions of each button here or each function of this Microsoft Teams, since I'll be doing a demonstration again later, but for Microsoft Teams desktop app. So I'll go back to my PowerPoint for a bit and then continue discussing later. So that is how you could access the web app version of Microsoft Teams. If you want to use the desktop app, you could usually locate it at the taskbar, or you can search for it at your start menu. So this is what Microsoft Teams looks like for the desktop app. So I'll be showcasing, for now, I'll be showing a demonstration on what the different features of Microsoft Teams is using my desktop app. So when signing in your desktop app, you'll be asked to log in using a Microsoft account or email. So let me just type mine in. So I have to complete the two-factor authentication first. So let me just pause. So I actually highly encourage the two-factor authentication since it helps add another security layer to your logging process, and this helps reduce the chances of your account getting hacked. Okay, so now that we're logged in, okay, so this is what the desktop app of Microsoft Teams looks like. So these are the teams that I'm part of, or these are the teams that I belong to. Some of them belong to subjects that I'm enrolled in, but there are other teams here that belong to school organizations such as APC-Microsoft community. So as you can see that all of the team names here are in bold text. Uh, if uh, if a team names in bold text, it means that there is a new notification. So for example, for my Comet 1 for my Comet 1 team, I have two new notifications that I have to check out. So if you want to join or create a team, you just have to click on this button right here, right in the upper right corner, and then you'll be directed to this page. So there are already other teams that I could join. So for example, I could join the team for School of Engineering, APC Coral. And there is even a team here for, or there are teams here for Frosh Night. So ABC Frosh Night is an event for freshman students in Asia Pacific College. You also have a choice if you want to join a pre-existing team. You could just ask for the team owner about the team code, or you could create your own. So I'll be showing you guys how to create your own team. So first off, you have to think of the name. So since this is just a demo, right here, demo. So description, this is just for a demonstration. So now I have to choose the privacy setting of my team. So if I choose private, only the members I add, or only the members that team owners have added can join this team or can access this team. But if I choose the public setting, anyone in my organization, so basically anybody in Asia Pacific College, could join or access this team. So since this is just for demonstration, I'll choose the private setting. I also have the option of using existing teams as a template for my team. So I just have to click on this and then choose which of the following teams I want to copy. So I'll try copying. Uh, Not sure which of the follow. Let's say I'll try to copy APC Org Fair 2020 icons. Choose team. See here. So now I get to choose which of the following teams which of the following settings of the APC Org for 2020 teams I want to copy for my team. So it's either copy the channel. I couldn't copy the channels, but I could copy the tabs, team settings, and the apps. I could also choose to copy the 758 members, but since this is just a demonstration, I will only choose two. So since I've shown you how to use other teams as template for your own teams, I'll just cancel this and create my own team and design it the way I want it. So demo description, this is just for demonstration. Sorry. So private, then we could click next. So now I have to add members to my team. So I'll be adding two of my classmates, which I already asked permission from to include in this demo. So and there we go. So I'll be adding them. So this section right here, the drop down button, this is where you get to decide if you want to include the members as just regular members, or you could ask them to become team owners. So, but for now, I'll just stick with members. So this is what our demo team looks like. So we could also change the team picture. So You could choose between the avatars that are available here, or you could upload your own. So let's try choosing this avatar. This may take a while. So because of the internet connection, I'll just stick with the original picture. So underneath the picture is the team name, and next to it are the different options that you could do to your team. So you could either add a channel, add a member, you could leave the team, edit your team, or manage tags. You could also delete the team, but we won't do that. No, we don't do that here. So underneath the team name is the general channel. So the general channel, one of its features is that this is where you could see which of the following members have joined your team or have left your team. But other than that, this is where members can also create general discussions or general announcements. So channels are basically sections within a team that keeps conversations organized. Usually they're organized by topic, projects, or different functions. So I'll try to create a channel right now. So channel name, let's just add here demo channel. Demo. So since the description is optional, I won't add the description anymore. So just like what we did when we created a team, we also have to choose the privacy setting for this channel. So there is standard and private setting. So the standard setting means that this channel will be accessible to all of the members of the team. But if I choose this channel to be in a private setting, only the certain members of the team can access this file or this channel. I'll create both, but for this channel, I'll choose the standard setting and just create another one for the private setting. So since I chose the private setting for this channel, I have to add members that can access the data shared here. So it's either Trisha or Charame, and since I'll just choose Trisha, add her, and then just like earlier, I can also choose if I can set Trisha to be an owner or just a member. So just remain with member. Okay, so in Trisha's perspective and my perspective, we could see three channels, so general, demo, and private demo. But for Shara May, her perspective consists of only two channels, which is general and demo. And if you find a lock icon next to a private channel name, it means that you've been added to a private channel. So usually it's just the team owners and members that could see private demos. So yeah, I mentioned it earlier. Sorry. So now at the top bar here, this is where you could add tabs, post, like you could post here, add your files here, and you can create another tab. For example, usually professors use this as an assignment tab. So like this is where you students can check out all of the assignments that they need to pass for this subject or what. So for this tab that I'm creating, I'll just add here OneNote. So for example, I want to use OneNote as a means of updating my team members for a project we're creating. So I could just OneDrive for business is not. Wait, I'm trying again. Okay, so I'll have to create a demo and save. Sorry for the wait. Okay, so let's say that I want to update them. So for week 1, updates, so that whenever a team member wants to check out what they have to do next or what are the updates on other members, they could just go to this tab right here and check out the OneNote that I've added. And for Files tab, this is basically the SharePoint of your, or the cloud, the storage for your group's files. So for example, I created a OneNote tab here, but it is also located since it is a file uploaded to your Teams channel. So like I mentioned earlier, Microsoft Teams is integrated with other Office 365 apps. So you could just, instead of having to open your Word document, you could just create a new one right here in Microsoft Teams. Sorry, since my laptop's very slow. So, I don't know. So enter your new name, sample Word. Great. So you wouldn't have to open your Word application. You could just edit and create your own files in Microsoft Teams here. So if you find it easy, like if you're not used to the format of the Microsoft Online, Word Online, you could choose to edit it in browser, but you won't have to save your file in the desktop app anymore, in your desktop anymore. You could, it's still connected to the OneDrive in Microsoft Teams. So if as long as it's saved, if you're editing the same file in Microsoft Teams, your members would still be able to get updates on the changes you made, even though you're editing your file in the desktop app of Word, or in the browser version of Word. Sorry, sorry if I'm beginning to stutter. So I'll just close this first. So let's go back to the posts. So if you want to create a conversation, you just have to click this button right here, new conversation. And you could just type, if you just want to type freely, like for example, you just want to catch up, like, hi guys. You just type in your message and send. But if you're trying to post a more important message, so for example, meeting agendas, you could click the format button and then you'll be shown the different types of formats here. So it could just be like a new conversation, or you can actually create an announcement. So for example, if you guys have an important event coming on, or you guys have to discuss something really important and you want them to notice it immediately, you could try creating an announcement. So to create an announcement, you just have to click the drop down button in the new conversation button and then just choose announcement. Then you can decide if everybody in your team can reply or only you and moderators can. So you could, for the headline, you could actually choose different illustrations that could help make your announcement more eye-catching. So you, there are already available background images in Microsoft Teams, but you can choose to upload your own. So for this demonstration, I'll use this background image. So you could type, so for the headline, usually headlines are just short descriptions. So for example, I'll type your meeting. Oh wait, let me think of a good headline. Demonstration. So for a subhead is usually just a sentence that helps expand what the headline wants to talk about or what the headline is for. So since our headline is demonstration, I'll try to create a subhead. So let me see. Hmm. Session. And for the message, I'll just type here the different formats that you could try and when you want to start a conversation or when you're making an announcement. So I'll type in sentences that contain bold, italic, underline, strike through, and highlighted words. So let me just type the sentences. So let me just change the format of these words. Sorry for that. Sorry for the background noise. So are we underline? So I want these sentences to be highlighted even further. So I'll change the font color and the font size. So for the font size, I'll turn the highlighted text into a large. I'll give them a large font size. So these are some of the ways that you could highlight your text. So we have your bold, italic, underline, strike through, and highlight. So when you're creating a conversation, you could also fix the indents of each sentence, and you could also create bulleted and numbered lists. So I'll create a bulleted list first, then the numbered one. So you could fix the indents on each sentences. So for example, I want it to look like the bulleted list also has a numbered sublist. There we go. So the next format that I want to show is the quote format. So the quote format basically highlights the quote that you want to tell other people. So or you want to share to other people. So I'll be typing here a quote that I loved in Modern Family. So let me just type first. So after typing in the code, so this is what it looks like. It looks like now. It's embedded inside a gray box. So let's say I want to create a link or show a link, add a link or what you could call it to this announcement. Like for example, people want to learn where I got this quote from. So I'll just type here a sentence with a reference link. Wait, I'm sorry, I mean a hyperlink. So let me just type. This is. So you just have to highlight the words that you want to add a link to. So I have here opened a website that shows the different episodes of Modern Family. So this is the abc.com website. Just copy the link. Oh, sorry, open wrong. So copy it here and insert it. So the word hyperlink turned blue, and whenever you try to hover it, the link that you copied is shown and it is underlined to further highlight that the word you're pressing is a hyperlink. So the other options that or other formats that you could add to your conversation is our tables, and you could also mark this announcement as important so that people would know that if they should focus on what they should really read what this announcement is about. So that is it for the different formats. Now I'll show you the different other options that you could add to your announcement or your conversation, such as you could attach a file that is either uploaded from your computer or is in your OneDrive or even from other teams and other channels. You could also add different emojis to further express how you're feeling. So since I'm sort of happy right now, I'll add a smiley emoji. Or you could add a GIF and sticker. Microsoft Teams has a variety of stickers that you could use. Wait, I'm trying to locate the sticker that I loved using when I was in senior high school. Oh, this is it. Ta-da! So I'll just post this demonstration announcement. So now this is what the announcement I created looks like. So there is an attachment at the very bottom of the announcement that shows the website that I hyperlinked earlier. Now there's also another feature in this conversation. For example, announcement. Wait, I'm trying to locate it for can't find it kasi sorry. But there's actually another feature in Microsoft Teams where you could send praise to your fellow members. So for example, I want to send praise to both Sharame and Trisha for participating in this demonstration. So I just have to choose which badge, like which, why am I praising them? What am I praising them for? And then it sends us an announcement and tags both of Sharame and Trisha Tolentino. So next I'll be showing you the meeting on. So for meetings in Microsoft Team, you could either schedule a meeting for, let's say, tomorrow, next week, next month, or you could schedule a meeting for right now. Now, before I start the meeting, I'll show you guys the different shortcuts that you could type using this search box right here. So aside from looking up different names, for example, our Microsoft, our org president, Miss Jennifer Arroyo, I could also, for example, I could also change my status in Microsoft Teams. So as of now, it says here that I am available. So you guys could chat me, you guys could call me, or basically disturb me in any way while I'm using Microsoft Teams. But if I don't want to be disturbed, I could just change my status from available to busy, or I could change it to do not disturb. There we go. So as you can see, this little circle right here used to be green that shows that I'm available, but it turned into a do not disturb sign. So those are just some of the shortcuts in your command box. So I'll try to start a meeting for right now. So before joining a meeting, you'll be taking to the lobby so that you could adjust your settings. So for example, you want to unmute your mic first, you want to mute it, you want to open your camera or close your camera, or if you want to add a virtual background to your open cam meeting. So I'm just open my camera. So hi guys. So as you can see, my background consists of a white wall and the switch. So if I wanted to hide that, I could just look up the different virtual backgrounds that are available in Microsoft Teams. So during the APC Org Fair, our organization, ACMSC, created a virtual background that makes it look like you're inside the Microsoft Hub in the APC campus. So there. So right now it looks like I'm inside the APC Microsoft Hub. So since I've already unmuted my mic, I've already opened my camera, I've chosen my virtual background. Now I'm prepared to join the meeting. So, oh wait, before I get to connect, I could adjust the microphone settings and speakers, all that. So this is what it looks like now since I'm the only one inside the video. So I'll close my camera now since I'm really camera shy. Okay, so the first, in, as you can see here in the top bar, you could you could see the number of participants that are currently in the meeting, or you could actually find suggestions of, like for example, other members who haven't joined yet or have failed to join your meeting. So you could click here for request them to join so that they will get alert like there's a current meeting and I want you to join. So the next tab is for the meeting chat. So this is if you don't want to disturb the presenter or anybody in the meeting, so you could just type in your thoughts, your answers, or anything you want to say or contribute to the meeting. Next to it is the raise hands button. So for this is often used in online class. So for example, when your professor asks you to have oral recitation and the if you want to answer the questions that he just said or he or she just said, you could raise your hand to alert your professor that you want to answer his questions. So, oh yeah, and whenever you raise your hand, it, it'll notify in the in the participants section so that the teacher could see the list of students or list of members who want to recite. The different actions that Microsoft Team offers is meeting options and meeting notes. So for meeting option, this is where you can when you can figure arrange the people who can bypass the lobby or who can present during your meeting. So for example, you have school you want to be able to be the only one who has can present the PowerPoint for this class, this meeting. So you choose only me. But if you're it's a group presentation for class, you could just choose everyone or people in my organization. Now there's also an option for allowing attendees to unmute. So if throughout the whole meeting you want attendees to just stay silent or you do not want to be disturbed throughout your lecture, you can you can disable this button that does not allow attendees to unmute their mic. So the next set of options or functions for Microsoft Teams meeting is the number of people in your gallery. So when you're joining a class, before the teacher can participate, about a grid of a 9 by 9 grid filled with the different students fill up your screen. So if you're in an event, so for example, the recently held APC Org Fair, we were about to take a picture with students turning on their cameras. So to be able to take the a very large number of students in just one frame, you would choose the large gallery option. So it can hold up to more than 10 videos so that you could entire class when you want to take a picture. Or you can choose together mode. So I'm not sure if you guys have seen example of together mode, but together mode is usually having a single background or a single virtual image, but filled with the different students who have their cameras on. So you guys will be sharing the same virtual background. I'll try to show a picture later of uh, us during in a together mode, but I still have to find it. But that's basically it for the different actions in Microsoft Teams. So the last feature that I want to show is the share content button. Let me see. Okay. So I have here the option to either to just share my desktop, share my window, share a PowerPoint or a whiteboard. So there are two ways of presenting your PowerPoint in class. It's either you could present using desktop, but if you use desktop, you won't be able to see the participants in a meeting since Microsoft Teams will be hidden. But if you try to upload your PowerPoint in Microsoft Teams, wait, I'll show you a demonstration of what I mean. Wait. So if I try sharing the Windows version of PowerPoint, this is what it looks like. So I have no idea if other students are raising their hands or are have said something in the chat box. So let me just stop presenting. So it'll be easier for students to just present by uploading their PowerPoint in Microsoft Teams. So with this setting, since I just uploaded the PowerPoint in Microsoft Teams, I'm still able to see which participants are raising their hand during my presentation. So there's also a feature in Microsoft Teams where students can navigate forward, advance, if they want to go ahead and check out the rest of the remaining slides without having to disturb the presenter. So, but usually presenters could prevent participants from moving forward with the presentation on their own. And if you can see the stop presenting button here, for participants, usually it shows the button that is located there is give take control button. So like if you want to present the PowerPoint and without having to ask the presenter to change to another slide, you could just take control so that they could be the one to present. So So I'm basically giving control of the entire presentation to another classmate. But they can't just take it freely. There are times when you still have to ask permission to take control. But there are also times when you could just freely take it. But this is really dangerous, especially if you're a teacher presenting a lecture, since students could just take access and destroy the lecture. So I'll stop presenting already. Okay. So that is it for the Teams meeting. So for this button right here, since I'm the host, I could decide whether to just leave the meeting or I could end the meeting. So if Trisha and Shara May were also in the meeting and I just decided to click leave, they would both I would leave the meeting, but both Shara and Trisha would remain inside this meeting. But if I choose to end it, all of us will basically leave the meeting immediately. Everyone remaining in the meeting would leave. Now, this option is usually reserved for the host, so that no, so that unless the host has stopped presenting or the host says it's okay to leave for everybody, nobody could disturb or end the meeting accidentally. So I'm gonna end this now. So that is it for the introduction or demonstration for Teams. Now I'll be discussing this sidebar here. So this sidebar contains tabs for activities, teams, assignments, chat, calendar, calls, or files. So in activity, this is basically the notification bar about the different activities that are happening throughout your team. So for example, you'll be notified if there are new assignments or returned assignments in your teams. And for teams, this is basically it just directs you to the list of teams you're included in, or the first page that we saw. And for the assignments tab, this is where you get to see all the assignments from the different, for example, let's say subject teams. They're all organized and are organized by which assignments were given first and not by their due date. So I'll be showing to you guys the chat tab. So I created this sample chat earlier, so it also contains the same participants, Sharame and Trisha. So in this group chat, you could also call or You could also video call or just audio call with your team, and you could also share screen with them. So, and then next to those buttons is the list of participants in the group chat. And you could also have the option of creating a pop-up chat so that you could continue chatting with your members but at the same time navigating through the Teams app. So it's basically the same concept with the meetings call. So I guess one of the purpose of the audio and video call here is that you don't have to go through the process of having to create your own teams just to be able to go on meetings with your group mates. So for example, you just want a one-time meeting with your group mates. You could just create a group chat instead of having to create your own Teams channel. It basically this group chat basically has the same features as creating your own Teams channel. So for the calendar tab, oh wait, you could also create a new chat by clicking on this button right here, or you could also filter chats. Okay, so back to the calendar. So this calendar shows the different meetings that a student might have throughout the week or next week, or basically it's just a list of the upcoming meetings. You could schedule a meeting here or a live event. So for the files tab, this is basically the collection of all the files I've accessed, all of the files in my Teams channel for different subjects. So these are the recent files that I've accessed. So I could arrange it by the date of modification, the name, alphabetical, or the type. So like Word files first, then let's see. Yeah, that's basically it. So I could also choose if I want to check out the files I've the files that are in Microsoft Teams or the files I've downloaded. There are also a section here for files that are in cloud storage or are in OneDrive. So this is basically what my OneDrive looks like. So that's it for the very messy demonstration of the desktop app. So we'll go back to the PowerPoint. So back to the PowerPoint. So for the search tool or the command box, for the search tool, you could use it to find specific messages, files, or people. And for the command box, you could use the slash symbol to basically change your status from, let's say, available to be right back or do not disturb. So it's just a shortcut. You could also change your status using the profile section located at the upper right. So you could also use the command box to check out the latest news or get information about different places without having to leave Microsoft Teams. So here are just some of the commands that you could use in Microsoft Teams. You could set your status as busy, you could call someone, you could see the different keyboard shortcuts. So that is it for the presentation on Microsoft Teams. So before I finish, I would just like to inform all of you that Microsoft Teams also has a mobile application version. So this is what it looks like. So it's very useful, especially if you're on the go or you don't have any access to your laptop or desktop computer. Okay, so that is it for my presentation.